Hey guys, welcome to Cooking in Manhattan. The next recipe that I'm going to show you is very simple and easy, and also it's delicious. It's really restaurant quality. A lot of people are absolutely intimidated about cooking salmon and seafood in general, and I want to show you how easy it is and how the technique is really manageable. So today we are going to broil some salmon. So let's take a look at the ingredients. First, a word about salmon. You want to make sure that you buy high quality salmon from your fishmonger or from your grocery store. You want to ask for salmon that has not been colored, because sometimes they might add some food coloring to the food that is fed to the actual fish. And most importantly, that has not been frozen ahead of time. And then obviously you would have to use some seasoning. If you only have salt and pepper, by all means you can coat evenly the fillets with salt and pepper, and that will be perfectly fine. In my case, I'm going to be using a cedar plank salmon seasoning, but if you have, for example, Old Bay, what's the name, Court? What's the name? Old Bay? Old Bay seasoning, then you can use that too. He loves that, by the way. He loves that stuff, especially on popcorn. He absolutely adores it. So in terms of the salmon, you want to make sure that it's cut about 1 inch thick. So as you can see, the fillets are about 1 inch, 1.5 inches thick. And that's a pretty generous portion for 4 people. So I'm seasoning the salmon fillet now. I already have preheated my oven at about 400 degrees. Actually, I'm sorry, strike that. It's 500 degrees. The important thing about the technique for cooking the salmon is actually that you first cook it skin side down, and then we will turn it over and start with the broiler so that we can actually char the skin, and it will finish cooking that way. So I will show you the next step in just a few minutes. As soon as the surface of the salmon becomes opaque, you need to take it out of the oven. And now we're going to flip it over. But in the meantime, I already started the broiling process in the oven. So I preset the broiler, and now I'm going to delicately turn over the salmon like so. As you can see, the skin is still not cooked properly because there was no heat. I'm going to flip this one first. Okay, I'm gonna flip this one last. Okay, and now it goes back in the oven with the skin side up until the skin has turned into a charred, beautiful skin that has bubble all over. It will actually rise a little bit, so it looks like it's a little bit, it has bubbles all over, but it actually is absolutely delicious. As you can see, the salmon is now ready. You will notice that the skin is charred in some places. Some is more charred, some is less. It's fine. As long as there are bubbles on the skin, it means that it's perfectly cooked. I'm going to take one of these fillets, put it on the plate, and then we taste it together. When we cook seafood, we are always shooting for something that is well cooked, in the sense that it's actually cooked through, but it's not dry. And that's actually the problem that some people have with salmon. Salmon is fine if it's medium rare, or even tuna is fine if it's medium rare, but you want to make sure that the skin and most of the fish is actually well cooked. So as you can see, this is the way it looks. You will notice that it's cooked on one side, and then it's cooked obviously on the skin side because we broiled it. But now let's take a look, and you can actually remove the skin very easily because it feels a little bit like paper. Let me take a bite into it, but first I want to show you. See? So this is perfectly cooked. It has a little bit of raw inside, but it's still very, very juicy, which is the way I like my seafood to be cooked. So now let's take a bite. It's moist. All the beautiful oils that are in salmon are still floating, so it's not dried out. Most importantly, it's incredibly delicious, and it's very simple to cook. So let me take another bite. I hope you enjoyed this video because I wanted to demystify the concept of cooking seafood, and I hope I succeeded in that. I will see you again on the next Cooking in Manhattan, but now turn off your computer and get cooking. Ciao!